Om Shanti. Welcome to Vyakti Parivar. Today is day 26. Smriti Swarup Jagadamba. Lap of love. Love serves and engages. Mama's Mahamantra. Always consider this time to be your final hour. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti, everyone. Yes, Baba made us sit very comfortable and still be a good student, right? Not like before, every time you have to come to Baba, get in the car and drive. But now, yes, on Sundays, Thursdays, you make effort. So Baba help us to study in a very, very comfortable way. Mm. Mama was Smriti Swarup. Her purity and love were so much in her personality because pure love, that is God's love, has naturally a lot of power. So it was not only she was loveful, was very, very powerful also. And it was so natural for her. I think which should be and must be happening with all of us also. The knowledge, which is power, which is wisdom, increases power to discern, to have all good relationships with everyone. All the powers emerge. And in very, very natural way, there is connection, there is relationship, and remembrance of Baba, which is called yoga. Yoga is that you stay connected. Like Baba said today, when you are connected with the seed, you get cooperation of the whole tree. So Mama was able to have that connection very naturally. And Mama's connection was such with the seed that she had no connection, even in the thoughts, with the old world. I never saw Mama had any attraction or any attraction to anything, and attachment with any person or objects was very, very naturally, very detached because of her yoga with one Baba, connection with one Baba. She didn't had any um, even connection in physical relationships. There was no pull, no attachment, but also was very, very loving relationship with everyone. Because when you have relationship with Baba, you experience so much love that what others get from you is that pure God's love. And that also comes when it's with good yoga, right? Good relationship with Baba will help us to have good relationship with others. Let's say sometimes you find in your intellect there is little bit of conflict of any kind. then you cannot have good relationship with others. So conflict is not really outside. There is something within the soul, within the mind, and that lack of contentment or somewhere something start you feel lacking, and that gets into not able to have loveful relationships with others. So then also when there is good connection, good relationship, remembrance, then dharana, inculcation of virtues, the manners which Baba says. She had very, very pure and very divine manners. Baba will be talking a lot more on divinity, being worship-worthy souls. So inculcation subject of manners and divine virtues was also natural. And then she was serving from there through knowledge, through God's love, through her own inculcation of virtues. Her serving, way of serving was very unique. Service for her was not just to speak, but very lovingly she took care of yagya. That means she was karma yogi. And somewhere we never saw Mama saying, oh, I need balance, right? Because when there is natural remembrance, so your timetable becomes accurate. Mama was able to get everything accomplished, but she never said, I don't have enough time for yoga. She took care of children, many departments, did what she's supposed to be doing, and everything went well. So I think it's very, very important for all of us also to be embodiment of God's love. And when there is love, there is faith, and efforts keep bringing joy and power. It's never any struggle. Struggle to have yoga or struggle for desires of I must be able to do this service, that service. No. Everyone who came in front of Mama was served. Not just served by speaking, but they felt power, they felt love, they felt purity, they felt belonging, they felt like surrendering. So it's like Smriti Swarup. So as much I uh, kind of uh, feel Mama present here with me, I think lot of her, lot about her. Every time different qualities and powers emerge in front of me. And I feel that that is what actually Mama this year especially is so much present with us, is very, very silently saying to us, be Smriti Swarup of God's love. God is ocean of love. we belong to Him. He's sustaining us, guiding us for our return journey. So all our love and attention is with the one who is Supreme Guide. So I get very, very inspired by God's love through each one of us. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So it's Saturday today, so we'll be having chit chat afterwards with Brother Eric and Didi. So before that, I would like to invite our dear Brahma Kumari Sister Angel, Sister Gayatri. Please welcome.
So thank you and good evening, everyone. And so today we'll be looking at Jagadamba, the lap of love. And the love is about love serves and love engages. So let's first of all look at the homework slide. And the homework for tomorrow, all day, starting with Amrit Vela, is to always consider this time to be your final hour, Mama's mantra. Always consider this time to be your final hour. So that's the homework, and we will go through the practice today that would help you with this homework tomorrow. So for the practice of the Smriti Swarup, we're looking at the 3 strands. One is Mama's mantra of always considering this time to be your final hour. Now, what did Mama mean by that? My research on Mama told me that this meant a lot of things to Mama. But one of the things that made her say this is for us to have faith in Baba and drama so that we could always remain unshakable and carefree. So if I think this moment is my final moment, then I have to be stable and unshakable on this wheel of drama. But I also found out that it was connected with her purushart, her effort making. And that effort making was that if you are a true effort maker, you don't have the carelessness of making mistakes. So you don't make a mistake and say, well, I'm only an effort maker, so I will correct that mistake. But if you were to think this is my only chance to make this effort, and that chance won't come again in quite the same way, then you will consider this time to be your final hour to make this particular effort. So there were 2 elements of how she saw that. And then the lap of love, that from which Mama served. Everything she did it from this strength of love. And so love serves and love engages. When I really thought about, well, what is this lap of love of Jagadamba? I realized that her lap of love was actually in loving remembrance of Baba. The lap is to be in the loving remembrance of Baba. And why it was necessary for her to give that experience of being in her lap of love so that it could become the embodiment of the remembrance of Baba, it was so that that lap of love could comfort and heal any sorrow or pain that the souls may be carrying in their hearts. Because she realized that no one can serve another to remove the pain and sorrow of the other if they were carrying pain and sorrow in their own hearts. So this love serves and engages is a love of bhavana, is a love that comes from the heart. So it required us to have the clean and honest hearts. So the third strand is today's story. And today's story actually demonstrates how Mama's mantra of always consider this time to be your final hour gave her the strength to be stable and unshakable. And that strength that she had of being stable and unshakable in turn served Ramesh Bhai and gave him the courage to do what he needed to do with determination in his heart. I like that very much. I like to see the interaction between Ramesh Bhai and Mama, in which how Mama became this pillar of strength. That is why she was called Jagadamba, because she transmuted in him, in a way, everything he needed to do what he needed to do at that time. He became the Smriti Swarup of something that she was helping him to do. So, listening to the story, we will then practice the Smriti Swarup stage. And so I just want to remind you of what we will be doing after the story, so you could listen to the story with that awareness. So what is the Smriti Swarup form? The eternal form is the form of awareness. Our awareness should not just be at the level of thoughts, Smriti Sochna, but it should be at the level of being the embodiment of awareness, Smriti Swarup. So we'll be listening to the story with our whole being, not just with our thoughts. For this, we will practice seated on the seat of our pure awareness of our eternal form of being a soul. And the pure awareness is, who am I, what am I, and whom I belong to. That's my awareness of my eternal form. Who am I, what am I, and whom I belong to. Then we listen to the story. The story is actually showing us when love serves and engages in courageous actions, the realization of now or never is translated into always consider this time to be your final hour. As I listen to this story, observe what is emerging in your awareness. So here's episode 4 of the story. Brother Ramesh, I went to my office and began to write. I attempted to write the letter about 5 to 6 times, but didn't have the courage. Eventually, the letter was done and I put it in an envelope. After dinner, I went to Mama's room and I gave her the letter saying that she needed to read it. He asked me whose letter it was, and I replied, Abhyakt Father has made me write it. Mama read it and said, it's destined in the drama. Although Mama knew everything, she had so much faith in the drama that she could remain carefree and unshakable. She returned the letter to me and I posted it, I mailed it to Brahma Baba in Madhuban. April 19th and 20th were my most difficult days. It was like the most difficult examination which I simply had to face. I did pass the examination, having made my heart determined. On reading the letter, Brahma Baba spoke with me and said, "Send Mama to Abu." So that was the story. Unshakable and carefree stage of Mama reading a letter about herself that is going to be sent to Baba, and the courage that Ramesh Bhai needed to write that letter. So that courageous love that he had to use because he was serving and he was engaging. And Mama saw it's now or never, the final hour. So remembering Mama's mantra, always consider this time to be your final hour, and the sustenance of the lap of love. Love serves and engages. Let us reflect on this in our practice of Smriti Swarup. What emerges in your Smriti, in your awareness, that would enable you to remain unshakable even through the most difficult and challenging moments in the drama? What emerges in your Smriti, your awareness, that would enable you to remain unshakable even through the most difficult or challenging moments in the drama? Let's reflect on that for 3 minutes and then move into a collective remembrance.
Om Shanti. Thank you. So, before we start our chit chat, I would like to let you all know that today we had this public event started, the story of immortality, the first day, first episode. It was very nice, and I'm sure everyone took a lot of benefit. And tomorrow is the second day, the episode 2. So just want you all to let your families and friends reminded that yes, tomorrow is also there. Session will be from 11 to 12, and please make sure you send them reminder, which is very important. So be in different languages. Translation is still available: Spanish, Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, French. And all big is also invited. If you would like to join, you are welcome to join as well, and also your friends and families. Thank you. Om Shanti. And now I would like to invite our dear brother Eric. So welcome to a Vyakti journey, a Vyakti Parivar Chit Chat, sharing from the heart that touches the heart. So welcome, dear brother Eric.
Om Shanti, dear Mohini Didi, and Om Shanti, each and everyone, Avyakti Parivar. It's lovely to be back again. Can't believe the month of June is coming to an end already. And I think we've all enjoyed being in Mama's world and Daddy Gulzang's world as well, and Baba's world. And I took a lot of inspirations from all the sharings, particularly about Mama. Even today was very relevant. And the past few days, I've been thinking a lot about, what made Mama Mama. And when we heard also on Father's Day in the Murli, how Baba also mentioned that to, give the return of love, you have to become like the Father and following the Father in so many aspects. And I know sometimes we think it's such a high aim. And if you add to it the little layer that you added, Mohini Didi, about the divinity, it's like icing on the cake. With all your perfection, you also have to be divine. Piece of cake, as we say, very easy. And the questions I was thinking about, Mohini Didi, is about when I was thinking about Mama's life and the daddies, and I thought they really died to the old world, much more than I did, for sure. And I was thinking, of course, they had those 14 years, where the world didn't exist for them. They were just in such a powerful bhakti. And remembering when we go to Madhuban, this is a little bit what we feel. Suddenly we don't have work, we don't have nothing, no attraction, no pull. We're just in Baba's world. But the questions I'm having is, to die from this old world. And Baba says, you have to die completely. You have to die alive. It's also to die from this old world, but to make Baba my world. And I'm wondering if there are only efforts to be made about making Baba my world, but do I also have to make efforts to die? Is it difficult to die, or how do I die completely? So that was my reflection a little bit. And I was checking my pulse, am I totally dead from this world? And I'm giving you a few thoughts, but so that you can answer in one idea. But I was thinking, what keeps me alive in the old world? And is it that whenever there is body consciousness, it seems like we are living in the old world, and in soul consciousness, we're more towards Baba's world. So it is difficult to always remove body consciousness. And sometimes body consciousness doesn't bring any satisfaction, of course. But sometimes what happens if body consciousness is quite pleasant? And that's why people live in the old world. They enjoy being body conscious. And I wonder if Brahmins have developed sometimes a body conscious soul consciousness so that we enjoy both worlds a little bit. And so we're not totally dead from the old world. And maybe that's why we don't enjoy completely, or we're not able to make Baba our world. So what do you think? Do we have to make efforts to die from the old world and also making effort to make Baba our world? Are two things, not totally different, but how do you look at them, those two ideas? It's a long question.
I don't know, it's question or experience or stages, right? I know that Didi Manmohini used to ask all of us that is it easy to connect or it is easy to break? And so as young teachers or instruments, she always asks us that if don't break it, then you won't be able to also connect. So deeply within, like when you are talking, I'm thinking of when I think many of us, we don't feel the part of this world, right? And especially now, after 1 year, more than a 1 year, when you don't go out. So whenever I have to go, because I need to go, I just look around. Do I belong to this world? Is this the world I am part of? And I don't feel connected. But then also I've been practicing to, feeling that how everything is old, old in the sense of there is decline and there is nothing really which is attractive, but of course destructive very much. disturbing to see what is going on. But I think as much we are moving forward, we start feeling that I don't belong to this world. And, we stay in our elevated awareness in Baba's love. Even if we have to serve, we have to serve the souls, we have to meet. But because there is so much energy in us of elevated thoughts and purity, recently I had to go to a clinic where there were doctors, there were few nurses and everyone. And they know so much used to, they wait for some discussion of spirituality, not directly knowledge. So when we give them the blessing card, first they wait for Toli blessing card. So when we give them, and they really appreciate and immediately say, so as if, they are waiting for us, not just to have a patient-doctor relationship, but more as they will get some good news. They will definitely feel vibrations. Everyone is so happy. And even when we come out, we are happy because we didn't feel it was a medical appointment. It was more like a Gyan chit chat and sharing of happiness and, a lot of joy. So I think that because our world is changing, wherever we go, we change the world also. Very interesting. Anywhere we go, and I thought sometimes you also shared how you have blessing cards outside, or so it's like we changing the world, old into the new. So that's what my experience is. That at this time, at least, we cannot say we have to make a lot of efforts to break with the old world. We automatically are seeing everyone is looking for something, happiness or positive conversation or, some blessing, everyone. So I think that we know that we are in this old world, whether it is last hour or whatever, many hours, but just to serve. And I like also that, then we engage. They like today Baba said, if you are connected with the seed, you will get cooperation from the tree. And lot of beautiful things are happening. So automatically we feel we are in the new world, golden aged world. And you will find becoming like Baba and worship worthy. Baba is making it very easy. When you listen to Murli tomorrow, which I happen to read in Hindi today, when Baba says, if everyone in their hearts have love for you, and in their hearts they accept you, not respect you, that means when they have love and respect for you, that means you are worship worthy. So we become praiseworthy in the sense of people like you, you give good knowledge. Everyone has been becoming praiseworthy, and then you become worship worthy. So I was surprised that Thursday evening was the message, and tomorrow whole Murli is about becoming worship worthy before the end. And what it is, it means that everyone has love for you in their heart, and they're respecting, not forcefully, but with lot of love, and that makes you worship worthy. So tomorrow when you will listen Murli, you will know that it's there. It's not difficult. It's easy. Right.
I'm asking question now to get blessings from you, not explanation anymore. And the explanation becomes a blessing. And I know, you mentioned also how Mama was never attracted or had attachment or pulled by anything. And we heard, I think it was nearby stories of going with Mama in a car and showing her something, and she didn't even think of it. But for some of us, and I'm thinking sometimes parents they have children, and children are not now holding gyan, so they have to go and do activities with the children, play hockey and go and bring them to their friends and make cakes. So they're a little bit more into another reality, I think, that some of us. And sometimes I've seen also Brahmins who, after so many years of giving course, telling Baba, Baba, and then suddenly you wonder what happened, and they kind of disappear. They make themselves beautiful houses. They have good friends. They start getting younger. They change their hairstyle and they look like, oh, this is interesting. They're becoming deities a little bit ahead of time before us. And so I wonder what happened. Was it the pull of the old world, or was it Baba's world that suddenly didn't, become vibrant? Because to maintain Baba as my world, maybe not for you, because I know you've been, your whole journey has been fairly straightforward. But when there is some attraction to the old world, to keep Baba my whole world is not easy, like going to your auntie's home, apparently. And by the way, who was that auntie that Baba talks about all the time? Did Burma Baba has an auntie that was really, really nice? Or is it just an auntie in general?
I think that if there are some souls feel they still have some responsibility, they still have to play part, they still have to take care of children, I think what they can do, definitely, even if they are with Baba. Baba actually used to tell everyone, it's your creation, you have to take care of them, and take care of them properly, give education. And so even when they will bring some money to Baba, Baba will say, oh, do you have enough saving? Do you take care of your children? So Baba never stops us, right, from doing it. But somewhere deeply within, some Baba's children kind of start thinking that I'm not supposed to be doing that. So they kind of had to make choice. They say, either I can be a Raj Yogi or I have to go back and be with my family. But if they really understand, Baba's blessing is that you can be with your children, you take care of your children. We have so many, many couples. We are having couples retreat, and next weekend there are so many who have taken their children. Many are in universities now, and they are grown with lot of values. And so there is really not necessary to leave a Raj Yogi life to take care of children and family, or even to have a big house, right? You can do everything, but you still can continue on a spiritual journey. There shouldn't be any fear that you have to leave everything. It's not leaving. It's just, today I was saying, just transformation of consciousness. And so I think that when this fear is not there, that I might not be able to fulfill the responsibilities in Lokik life. So it's more fear. And then, somewhere attachment comes back. But there are very few who go on holidays like this. But in their hearts, they know what is truth and what is true path. That's what I have explained. That's why they say BKs go nowhere, somewhere around in some way. And they again come back to Baba because they have experienced what is true love, what is true happiness, right?
So what would be your advice to someone, a Brahmin, who still has some attraction to the old world? Let's say someone yeah, I love Baba and Baba is my world. But maybe because of body consciousness and those 63 births, of habits of being attracted to bodies and to the world, what if there is some attraction to the old world and sometimes, feeling of just being, I don't know, trying to be a little bit in both, which I know it's, of course, not, that's not a good idea. But if there is some attraction to the old world, what would be your advice?
No, I don't know what kind of attraction they will have, but maybe I don't know, they want to live a different lifestyle, or it depends.
Some may want to just enjoy the world also, like, in a sense that there's a pull for friendship, for traveling, for feeling, like Mama said, every day may be your last day or your last hour. And I think sometimes the feeling may be, this planet is pretty nice. It's still totally, it's Maya's world, but she's clever. She has made very nice spots. There's some places are very beautiful. Some people are very friendly. For me also, when I work, I'm fully, 8 hours per day, meeting a lot of people. You go to that place, they have another world, they live, and not everything is Tamil Pradhan. I think when I go to India, the first year I went to India, I realized, oh, I know now why Baba says the world is so, so old. But when we live sometimes in some areas in the world, the world is so beautiful still. And I think sometimes it could be a little bit of a, temptation to have interest in the old world and to feel Brahmin life is very demanding. It's such a high aim, such, elevated aim. I'm just sharing how, we can.
I think that everyone has to be very natural. And, we have sisters also, they go to UN, they are at different. So there is a lot of friendship actually, but not necessarily on level of body consciousness, right? But lot of love, lot of sharing. Today we had a beautiful ceremony for Carol's sister, and there were many, many souls, and they were sharing their love. So I think we all have to be loveful, we have to be friendly, especially those who are at work or even have to go out for service. You cannot just make a face and say, I have nothing to do with you, or I won't be loving and friendly. I think that, you have to be natural, right?
How do you know you've made Baba your world? How do we know that, yes, Baba is my world and I'm not, I'm really dead to the old world? What do you feel is a sign of someone who made Baba his world?
When Baba is your world, then it's like internally my thoughts, my intellect, everything is like, I'm very happy with Baba. Baba being my world means I am having fun, I have joy, I am very happy being with Baba. Nothing else pulls me. There is nothing else in the world which pulls me. It's called Baba as my world.
There's a big tennis tournament in New York, it's called the US Open. I was thinking to invite you one day for a beautiful tennis game, but I guess you would not be interested, right?
After some time, I might sit for a few minutes and then just lose interest.
All right, I'll bring you a video of the best 2 minutes of the tournament. One little question, I was very intrigued because I was also thinking a lot about Mama this month. And really, this year, I really enjoyed remembering stories and feeling her presence. And in the bulk message last Thursday, I was contemplating, how Mama would be 55 years old today, approximately. And I was thinking, what a strange scene in drama that how would she leave, such an elevated stage and then go for 55 years incognito somewhere. And then in the bulk message, Baba said, whatever part you play in confluence stage stays with you until the end. And you mentioned even if you change your body, that part continues, even though she was Saraswati, daughter. She remains. What do you think? Did you give some thoughts about it afterwards of the bulk message?
I didn't give thought, but when Baba was saying it, deeply within, I do realize that it must be, because this year I find like ancestor souls are so alive with us. So somewhere they are with Baba, playing the part. Sometimes some things it's not easy to understand, but when Baba's saying it, you try to say what it means. And I thought it's true because, Didi Mohini or Dadi Janki, and wherever they are, but they must be playing some part with God, I think they can play part with God. Incognito, invisible, but definitely moving towards the task of establishment. Right? They can't disappear, right? They have to be with us until the end. So yeah, that's why I don't try to think a woman or man of 55 as Mama. I always see Mama more with Baba, That's what my feelings are.
Yes, in Buddhism, they have specialized monks who are looking for the Lama after he leaves the body. And so I think we have that little interest sometimes in wondering, it's not so much for me of knowing where Mama is, but it's to understand her dynamic, because if she's number 2 soul, and I remember asking you one day many years ago, would she come back and serve the whole family? Because if we go to Golden Age, 900,000 of us, we have to recognize her. She was incognito our whole life. We say, who's Mama? Where she is. So I was asking you one day if you feel she has more karma to do to serve so that we can recognize her as Mama. And you said, no, that she has already served to the extent that she needs to serve to get her status of Mama. So you don't feel that we will be seeing her at some point and getting a better relationship with her?
I think we will see her in subtle regions with Brahma Baba. So all of us, Baba will give us that feeling of how she sustained and what kind of sustenance, and it will come back. It will come back in some form. What exactly means, God knows, but I haven't given much thought. But yes, definitely what you say will happen, not for service, but at least be present for all of us. Like this year, I don't think we had felt so much presence as this year of Mama everywhere. So let's see. It's not very long.
Thank you, Mohini Didi. Always really enjoyable coming into your garden. Really enjoy being in the middle of the beautiful flowers and your presence. Very, very lovely. So thank you and sweet dreams.
Thank you. Good night. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, Mohini Didi and Brother Eric. That was wonderful chit chat and many, many questions which are arising in all Brahmins. Somewhere it's getting discussed, and we're very happy and wonderful answers. Yes, Mama is with us, and everyone is feeling. Few people were sharing experiences with us that whenever they're thinking about Mama, it's like Mama is right there present in front of them. So it was really amazing. Thank you. So now we'll close with Baba's remembrance, and we'll take drishti from our Didi, and also today Brother Eric, right? We'll share drishti with Om Shanti.
कैसे करे हम शुक्रिया मम्मा तेरे उपकार का, कैसे करे हम शुक्रिया मम्मा कैसे करे हम शुक्रिया मम्मा तेरे उपकार का। एक रचा परिवार ऐसा दिव्य है इस जगत में। एक रचा परिवार ऐसा दिव्य है इस जगत में। कोई भी सानी नहीं इस ईश्वरीय परिवार का। कैसे करे हम शुक्रिया मम्मा तेरे उपकार का। एक दिन ऐसा भी लाएंगे कि जब इस विश्व में। एक दिन ऐसा भी लाएंगे कि जब इस विश्व में नाम ना रह जाएगा अज्ञान के अंधकार का। कैसे करे हम शुक्रिया मम्मा तेरे उपकार का। प्यार देकर अर्थ समझाया है सच्चे प्यार का। कैसे करे हम शुक्रिया मम्मा तेरे उपकार का। कैसे करे हम शुक्रिया मम्मा तेरे उपकार का।
Om Shanti. Be in the lap of love of Baba and Mama. Om Shanti and everyone. Good night. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti,
Om Shanti Mohini Didi.
Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti.
Shanti.
Om Shanti.